What's up, guys? Coop Trades here. Wanted to come on and do a little watch list video for you guys for the next couple days if the stock market's going to be open. There's a couple stocks that I think are decent for entry opportunities as soon as you can get them, in my opinion. And others are just going to be, watch list opportunities, stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to look at SPX real quick because a lot of these long short positions, they depend very heavily on the market, as we saw in our NVT position. That's like the one position we got snagged in on this drop here was NVT, and but you can see we wicked out of it nicely. We have this kind of support level out of the zone that we've been ranging in from 6775 to 7,000. And honestly, whenever we dipped to 6700, I really would not have been opposed to us just going further down. Like generational buying opportunities can happen whenever the market is the most fearful. And for example, back in November, that was a good example, and I'm pretty sure back like last April, yeah. So back last like March, April of 2025, this was a huge buying opportunity. My port wasn't near the size that it is now. Not that my port's huge or anything now, but this was a very nice opportunity, and this is whenever everybody was freaking out, was down. We were down 1,000 points from the highs, and I would have really liked an opportunity like this again. Which is, it's not to say that we're not going to get another opportunity like this, but it would have been really nice to see something like that. We had this really scary wick. Everybody starts freaking out, and then we just go back up. I'm really just kind of exhausted of this zone that we've been in. It's really hard for us. Everybody's a genius in a bull market, like for example, like this. But honestly, everybody's a genius in a short market too, in a bear market. Like short ideas are so prominent whenever the market goes from 6,100 to 4,900. And either way, I would have been happy. We could have got some short ideas, we could have got some long ideas, but no, we want to stay in this zone. And I guess that's fine. The market's going to do what the market's going to do. Nobody knows exactly where it's going to go, but I really would have liked some bearish continuation and now maybe some bull continuation. But based on what we see here, like, look at this chop. I mean, it's just so disgusting. We haven't seen stuff like this since like last January, I would say. It's either been a bear market or a bull market. And even then, it didn't last near as long as it is now. I mean, this has been pretty much since like last December, so it's been around 3 months. So really need the market to pick a direction. But we'll just go straight into the stock picks, kind of why I'm buying, if I'm buying at all. And of course, none of this is financial advice. These are just my opinions. I'm not compensated to talk about any of these stocks, obviously, but yeah, just I like to. It helps me talk through these stocks, and I hope it helps some of you guys as well. But so AMD is stock that I have a big history with. We can go on my other platform here and just take a little peek at why I'm liking it. I couldn't really pull up the 200-day on my other charting software, but we're just bouncing the 200-day moving average. I made a TikTok on this. Has great EPS. It sits in a decent group, and it has a 97 composite rating, which means out of 100, say you have 100 stocks that you're looking at, this one that's going to outperform 97 of them, which is a huge number that IBD puts together. A great software, really help you scan for the best stocks in the market. But yeah, I'm really liking it still. We haven't filled this gap all the way. And if we did lose the 200-day moving average, the conviction would be a little bit lower. But as long as we continue to hold the 200-day moving average, I think even, where it's at right now, I think 200 has been pretty key on this stock. And we can, especially whenever we reclaim the 50-day moving average, that would be huge. But I just added, I don't even know how many shares. I think I added like 30 shares yesterday at the lows at like 191, I believe. I need to check. I posted it on Discord. I need to check the exact fill on that, but yeah, I think it was like 191, and so it's performing nicely off the 200-day moving average, but that's mainly, in my opinion, because the market's performing well. So if we do see some bearish continuation on the market, it wouldn't surprise me if we filled this gap all the way down to 170. But that doesn't mean I know I ramble a lot, but this is something that I really believe in. Nobody can time the bottom on these stocks, right? So like for example, like this, I was talking to somebody in Market Vision yesterday, I believe. They said that they wanted to wait until it goes to 170 or 150 to buy, and in my personal opinion, I've been doing this for a long, not a long time, but I've been doing this for a while. nobody can time the bottom just right, you know? So in my opinion, if you're wanting to long-term invest in stocks like this, just take a position, right? It doesn't matter if it's one share, just depending on your port size, one share, 10 shares, 100 shares. And then, you know, if it goes lower, you can always buy more. That's always I mean, I've been buying AMD since it's been in the 230 range. So, I mean, my average now, I average down quite a bit. It's probably 205 or 200. But, I mean, my average before was probably 230, you know, and I just kept buying, kept buying. And eventually, like we're seeing here, like we've seen in the past, the stock will most likely go up, especially whenever it's a solid, nice stock. And these are the only types of stocks we trade that have good earnings, sit in a good group, really good composite. You know, they pass all of our requirements on the checklist. Um, in my opinion, if you're looking at a good, nice stock, and this applies to even like SPY, like, you know, just take that initial position, and if you need to average down, do it. And if you need to average up, do it. You know, like you're never going to beat the market by just getting 3% in interest from your bank or from your Webull or whatever they pay now. I mean, in my opinion, your money's better invested, and there's no better time to start than now. So, in my opinion, of course, again, not financial advice, but I'm buying AMD, you know, all throughout this range. It doesn't matter if it's 200 or 170. If I have some sitting around cash, this is one of the stocks in the market that I feel confident in. And I was actually an investor in AMD. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. Me and one of my friends, we were stuck in this stock. Okay, that's not what the video's about. We're not going to get off ranting, but yep, that's my take on AMD. I like it. Even if we gap fill, I still like it. Fix. Okay, so this is a stock that's pretty far extended from the 50-day moving average, as you can see here, but in my opinion, I mean, we missed a generational wealth opportunity here on this breakout, and it's kind of setting up for something similar. This isn't wicking off of the 50-day necessarily, but if you zoom out a little bit, or I mean, zoom in, sorry, zoom in, you can kind of see we're in this kind of bull flag, I guess you could call it. We're just kind of consolidating in this range, and if we can drag that 50-day moving average up and we can break above, I don't know, like 1450 on strength, I really am not. I wouldn't mind buying this stock. Like I said, I wouldn't be sizing huge just because we're so far extended, but this is something that I can definitely see playing out. You know, it's a great company. We can look at the statistics real quick on Market Surge. 99 EPS, 99 composite. So there's no better stock in the stock market. I mean, a lot of stocks can have 99. There can be multiple that have 99, but out of 100 companies, this is better than 99 of them. Same with the EPS, 99. I mean, they beat their last earnings 120, 175. Sits in a very, very good group. Great SMR. Institutions are buying. This is a great stock, and for long term, I don't mind it at all. But yeah, I'd like strength above 1450, so gonna watch list it above that. I like ITT. I was gonna actually take a position in this today. I just got a little busy. Um, I like it falling into the oh, somebody's texting me. I like it falling into the 50-day moving average, and we're just kind of bouncing off of that. Not something that I'm loving right now just because we're a little extended. If we can see some consolidation, drag up the 50-day a little bit, it's something that I'll definitely be taking a position in. FN, I must have seen something when I was screening. Not necessarily anything jumping out right there. Oh, okay, so we're just kind of looking to bounce pivot here. We're bouncing pivot nicely. Previous pivot, previous resistance turned into support here. This is a position. This is a stock that we've taken a position in before. It's one of our top gainers of the year actually, and I'm not minding a re-entry right here if we can drag up the 50-day a little bit. I might take a position in it tomorrow morning. Just a light position, you know, 5 shares, something like that. Nothing crazy, but it's one of those stocks that I think can definitely go with a little momentum. And I charted this one out, ROAD, Road. I would like the breakout above pivot, you know. This was on our last video watch list as well, I believe. So above 140, we can see this thing. Yeah, it's at all-time high, so I don't really have any levels for you, but we just recently beat earnings and consolidating. I really think if we can break above pivot, like above 140 on strength, I really believe that that's something that can go. ADI, not really much behind it. You know, I hate trading against a trend like this, but I mean, we're just so far extended from the 50-day. This is something that I can definitely see, you know, kind of free falling a little bit. You know, we're just in uncharted territory up here, so it's not something that I necessarily want to position in right now. But, you know, if we see some weakness in it, you know, some lower volume, stuff like that, we can definitely take a short position in that. And the same theory with this MOD. Just kind of look, we're just super far extended off of earnings. Something that I'm not minding for shorts. Just kind of these both are kind of lotto ideas for those of you who used to follow my SPX trades. Kind of a lotto trade, which means kind of a gamble. But these are higher conviction than just going to the casino, right? I mean, we're pretty far extended and we're losing some momentum here. That's always something that you like to watch out for, but for these stocks, I mean, it's not 50-50, but it's way less conviction than, you know, a pivot reclaim or something, or the 50-day reclaim or something for long ideas. So something that I'm definitely watching for shorts here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else. FN, you know, it passes all the criteria. I just had it pulled up here, but yeah, this is probably something I'll take a position in tomorrow, you know, like nothing crazy, like 5-10 shares and then kind of scaling from there. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I don't want to just go off and ramble like I usually do, so I'm gonna cut this one pretty short, just screen through these just really quickly. Netflix, by the way, if you're still holding a position from our Netflix, I sold around 95. I just didn't want any risk, you know. I wanted to get out. I think we were like 10% in profit, which was pretty significant for me. I think I had like $30,000 in this stock, so it was pretty significant for me. But yeah, Amazon's another one that's working really well for us. Um, Meta is all. Ooh, I kind of like Meta off of the 50-day reclaim here. Okay, so this is another one that we're gonna watch list. Okay, we're gonna watch list it for some more strength above like 680. You know, if we have another green day tomorrow, I might be actually, yeah, no, tomorrow I'm gonna add a small position, nothing crazy, kind of like FN, maybe 10 shares, so like 6,000 US. And then, yeah, we can always scale in if it goes lower. This is another company that's like AMD. I don't really mind buying, investing. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else that's jumping out. Just screening through these. Intel on the 50-day reclaim, but ooh, I like this for shorts maybe. Oh no, it's ETF. We don't want to short that. Yep. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the video today, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.